Just think about it. Okay, so you belong to the LGBTQ,
Uh-huh.
and everybody has some things to say about your lifestyle and what you do in your bedroom, which is ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
But wouldn't it be the best way to get back at them if all of these homophobic men were applying 5 to 10 milligrams of ass oil on the daily?
Yeah, I get it. I see it. We're going to push this as hard as we possibly
You
can.
put
No pun intended.
You know what I'm saying? This is a back way into getting a
Pun intended? Pun
totally,
intended.
totally.
Okay.
Are you picking up what I put down?
I got it.
Listen,
Oh, my God.
this is genius. This is genius. Because listen, let's say, okay, coronavirus goes crazy.
Yeah.
The only thing, people start WebMD and everything.
Right.
First thing comes up in this article. Now you injecting yourself with 15 to 20 cc's of ass oil. Manually.
You got that lavender essential oil on deck?
Manually. Not only that, you have to go get, CVS is shut down, so you got to get the ass oil on the black market.
Oh, my gosh.
So your neighborhood ass oil dealer knows who you are.
Yeah. Well,
And then, yo. Back in the building.
we back.
Episode 46.
Okay.
The Loose Cannons, you see it.
I like it.
I'm No
like
Justin,
it.
No Peace.
And I'm Lou Rivers.
And we are the Loose Cannons podcast because we sit down and we fire off our opinions on today's pop culture,
What else?
politics,
What else?
movies and TV, and how they all intersected. Man, do we have a good week for you guys and a good episode?
Yes, we do.
Ooh, what we doing this week? We talking about The Way Back.
The Way Back. Ben Affleck.
Ooh,
yes.
and we got a lot of things that happen off in social media.
Yes, we did.
All right, so let's get to it.
Alrighty.
All right. The Mike Tyson breakdown.
Yo, a lot of people spoke about this.
A lot of people speaking about it.
Yeah.
How are they speaking? They speaking positively or negatively?
Yeah. I mean, I think that. I mean, nobody wants to mess with the baddest man on the planet.
I don't think you should.
He may feel a certain type of way, but believe me, he still got these hands, and they for everybody.
He may have called himself a bitch, but you won't.
Yeah, I dare you.
Go ahead.
I double dare.
Go
you.
ahead. Go ahead.
Oh man, do you have a favorite Mike Tyson memory?
I'm late. I wasn't into fights like that. I watched the Holyfield fights. I obviously watched the yes. I was still young then though. I watched Lennox Lewis fighting him. So I think I caught more of the losses.
Oh dang!
I caught the end of Tyson.
Oh man, I caught. You know all the W's I caught when he was fighting everybody in these streets.
It just knocked everybody out.
Yo, when I was in high school and I was going to tech.
Yeah.
I remember he was in downtown Brooklyn and knocked someone out in the hotel lobby. Oh man, I was like, yes, Mike Tyson still got it.
Just in the lobby.
Why would you? Why?
Why are you in his face? You shouldn't be that close.
You know he's going to do something.
What did you think was going to happen?
I don't know, man.
Peace and love, brother. No, that's too early for that.
Right. Yeah,
wasn't
he's still a dog.
All right. I mean, we skipped ahead, but I don't know if everybody knows what happened with Mike Tyson.
Go ahead, give him the breakdown.
So he has a podcast called Hot Boxing.
Yes.
It's he hosted with a dude. I believe he's an ex-athlete. I don't really know the dude's name.
I forgot the dude's name. So
they interview a bunch of different people, and you get to get some insights on Mike Tyson because he's on his spiritual journey.
He's a very interesting person.
Super
period.
interesting. Smokes a lot of weed. That's why it's called Hot Boxing. He does the toad, which is like DMT.
Yes.
And like I think mushrooms and stuff like that, but not during the show.
Obviously.
But he talks about those experiences, stuff like that. And I guess this particular one, he was interviewing Sugar Ray.
Okay, Sugar Ray Leonard, right?
Leonard,
yeah.
yep, Sugar Ray Leonard, and I don't know what led to it because I haven't watched the whole podcast, but the clip was just going crazy.
I want to say that I think that they first started talking about how Sugar Ray dealt with retiring afterwards and still being incorporated in boxing, but
Makes
not
sense.
a boxer.
Got you.
Yeah.
So it went a deep place.
Yo.
And it just got sent through the internet ways. I'm going to play it real quick for these guys.
All right, so that everyone can hear.
Hold on.
We got it for you, I promise.
Come on, Mike.
Where Mike at?
Fight, I know the art of war. That's all I ever studied. That's why I'm so feared. That's why they feared me when I was in the ring, because I was an annihilator. That's all I was born for. And now those days are gone. It's empty. I'm nothing. I'm working on being the art of humbleness. Can you believe in me? That's the reason why I'm crying, because I'm not that person no more. And I miss them. Because sometimes I feel like a bitch. Because I don't want that person to come out, because if he comes out, hell is coming with him. And it's not funny at all. It must sound cool, like I'm a tough guy. It's just that I hate that guy. I'm scared of him. I know the art of fight. I know the art of...
So,
those are intense words, man.
It is. What did you get out of it, out of the video?
Well, one of the things is I listen to the podcast and I hear him talk to different people about his upbringing in Brownsville and and doing time and all those things, and speaking about how that changes you and what those environments turn you into, and he speaks about it negatively. He's like, I was a monster then. He was like, I had to be a monster. That's what these kids are growing up to be. That's what they're learning. And I believe because he's in a different place now, he can turn around and see that monster. Right. And he's scared of that monster. He doesn't, but there's utility to that monster. Right. That monster made him Mike Tyson, that ferociousness, that lion in him, that winning mentality brought him to being the heavyweight champion of the world. So you're going to miss the thing that brought you there, but also that thing that brought you there comes with some other baggage. It comes with knocking out people in the lobby. It comes with bad relationships with women, dealing with domestic abuse, all of those different things, not being able to have adequate relationships with your children. All those different things come with that energy, Right. And he's scared to summon that energy, but he's used to that energy.
Right. I think that people miss out on the whole concept of having security and insecurity. And it's like building a house on a bad foundation. No matter how good the house looks or how good the house is, if it's on a bad foundation, it's a bad house, know?
Yeah.
So it's that idea that for the fact that raised the way that he was, this one thing of boxing and intimidating people and doing all this was built on the idea that this secures him and all the holes that are in his soul. You know what I mean? So it's like if anybody knows Mike Tyson's story, having that foundation of Cus D'Amato trying to fix all the holes that were there, and use boxing as a tool.
Yeah.
After losing Cus, a lot of his career falls off the side, and it just shows that he's grounded in that. This boxing is what gave me the most happiness.
Yeah.
And it's tough that now, being in the society that we're in, we kind of all focus on things that we can do in our prime and not really the things that last over a lifetime. So now you can only look back at what made you happy and not figure out what can make you happy.
Yeah.
So now, because boxing was such a big thing in his life, it's kind of hard to move past it or see it as a tool of just the boxing and not who he was because of boxing. So it's tough. That's kind of what I was getting out of it.
Plus, I think it's also hard to not identify with a thing that you do.
Right.
Because when you're doing something and you're consumed with that, I mean, that's something that I'm pretty sure he was doing every day for hours a day.
Right.
That feels like that's you.
Right.
But it's not you. But it's a difficult thing to overcome, even within myself. Identified as an actor, a creative. Is that me? Is that part of me? Is that outside of me? Is that in addition to me? I'm pretty sure that's in addition to me, because I don't know. I believe in the afterlife, so I don't know if that moves with me. The mission of creativity, the mission of bringing smiles to people's faces. I don't know if that goes with me in the afterlife. That may end here,
right.
So it's like identifying with that as if that is you, it's it's interesting that he's the one that ushered all these conversations in.
Right.
Well, ushering the conversation.
Well, it's crazy because speaking about someone last week in a total flip flop
Yeah.
was we was talking about Kobe and how Kobe wasn't boxing and wasn't basketball.
Yes.
And we don't find that out till after. And
Yes.
he knew that it was just a part of his life
That was
and
it.
not his life, you
Yeah.
know? And I mean, I think that that's something that, you know, we could all admire and look at where it's like, you know, that there's a lot of things in your life that has a shelf life, has an expiration
For
date.
sure.
But who you are is never going to expire. That's that's the important part.
Yes.
You have to be multifaceted. You have to have many parts of you.
Yeah.
And there's one piece of advice that I got when I was younger, and it kind of applies to almost every part of my life, where it's just like, you never make one thing your everything, because when it's gone, then you're left with nothing. So it's kind of like one thing where it's just like, I know that regardless of how long this thing may be in my life or how long I may have it, how much it makes me happy,
Yeah.
there could be a time where I don't have this, or I have to have other things, or
Yep.
or it may not give me the same
Yeah.
throughout the same time frame. So it's kind of like you kind of have to have a well-balanced idea of what you want to see out of life.
I mean, I can see that with things, but how do you not do that with people? Because, you know, like, I'm pretty sure that's another part. Like, Customano was probably a lot of
Right.
him, you know, his everything. And I think people do that in relationships, especially marriages. Like, that person is your everything.
Right.
Like, how do you not do that? How do you balance that? How do you have a close relationship, but not an everything relationship?
Right. Well, I mean, I think that that's the idea of, you have to come to the realization that as easily as someone came into your life, they can be taken away.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea that nothing is guaranteed, and you know, that whole tomorrow is not guaranteed, you have to realize that even if that person isn't there, that's why you have to appreciate them as long as you possibly can, because
Yep.
there's no telling when that person will be taken away. I mean, knowing Mike Tyson's story, his daughter passed, right?
Yes.
That should,
On the treadmill.
yeah, on the treadmill. So it's like, it's something that you always have that idea that his mother was taken early, his cuss was taken a decade later,
Yeah.
his daughter's taken 2 decades later. Like, that's something.
So
that,
losing is
you
people, and you hold on tight.
right. You have to appreciate them and be as in the moment as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing is, just like someone could be taken away from your life, you can be taken away from other people's lives.
Absolutely.
So if you're so stuck on making sure that someone is there forever, you're going to lose out on the today.
Yeah.
So,
And enjoying those moments.
yeah.
Heavy, Mike.
All right. Okay.
All right. Well, I mean, to break up some of this heaviness,
What we got here?
ass oil. Listen. Okay. Lewis sent me an article.
And it was hilarious.
Here it is. Applying essential oil to the anus cures coronavirus. And that's from the Iranian cleric.
Yo, do it. You might need it.
Okay. All right. This may not be the moment, but I always take the opportunity to get a little conspiracy theory at any moment.
Okay.
This is the LGBTQ man.
Oh my God.
No, I'm saying I'm saying it. This
Okay.
is not even. I think this is brilliant.
All right.
I think this is just think about it. Okay, so you belong to the LGBTQ, and everybody has things to say about your lifestyle and what you do in your bedroom, which is ridiculous. But wouldn't it be the best way to get back at them if all of these homophobic men were applying 5 to 10 milligrams of ass oil on the daily?
Yeah, I get it. I see it. We're going to push this as hard as we possibly can. No pun intended.
You know what I'm saying? This is a back way into getting a
Pun intended? Pun
totally,
intended.
totally.
Okay.
Are you picking up what I put down?
I got it.
Listen,
Oh my God.
this is genius. This is genius. Because listen, let's say, okay, coronavirus goes crazy.
Yeah.
The only thing. People start WebMD and everything.
Right.
First thing comes up in this article. Now you injecting yourself with 15 to 20 cc's of ass oil. Manually.
You got that lavender essential oil on deck?
Manually. Not only that, you have to go get CVS is shut down, so you got to get the ass oil on the black market.
Oh my gosh.
So, so your neighborhood ass oil dealer knows who you are.
Yeah. Well,
And then when everything clears up, you start talking greasy on Twitter. They just send you a DM, ass oil.
Yep.
Shut it down. Ass oil. What you gonna say? What you gonna say?
Look. You know me, I love conspiracies.
Pete Buttigieg. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
It's genius. It's genius to me. And you know what? I'm down with it.
All right.
Because I'm secure. If I got to put in ass oil, I got to do what I got to do.
Oh man, I'll go check and see what I got.
You gonna die before you put in ass oil?
I'll do it all.
Oh, okay.
Do whatever I can.
Okay. Listen.
I'll be out here sending tutorials on,
Yes.
on YouTube or something.
Iranian ass oil too.
Yo.
Damn. What if you have to start importing ass oil?
Yo, they hold on. I got the best one of all. They are butthurt right now.
They are butthurt.
They are butthurt right now.
Butthurt. Yo. All right. So, I mean, we're talking about the cure for the coronavirus.
Yeah.
All right.
Whew.
The coronavirus is out here. But you know what?
What?
Water, glass, half empty, half full. Some people see it as a plague that might just wipe out millions of people.
Right.
I look at it as an opportunity to go on a really cheap vacation.
You are correct.
Have you guys seen the prices?
Yo, look, we work in like our regular job in the transportation, travel, tourism industry. Yo, this is the time.
This is the time to go. If you wanted to see a place
and you wanted to save a couple $1,000s,
this is time. It is time. We need to start looking up some Disney stuff.
You are correct.
Wow. Yo, because these cruises, y'all, are dropping like, I mean, cheap.
Dropping like people with coronavirus?
All of them can't be quarantined.
You're correct.
They cannot be quarantined. Not all of them. Yo, crazy segue. I seen there was a quarantine ship, and they had the Coast Guard. It was Ashton Kutcher and
what?
It was. If y'all watch movies, y'all know what I'm talking about. But so the Coast Guard was dropping off the test kits, but obviously they're in the middle of the ocean, so he had to shimmy down with the thing and then drop off the test kits. Imagine that. That's some crazy shit.
Put it in a lifeboat. Bring the lifeboat.
You know, it's gonna be one person that try to hold on to the Coast Guard. Like, take me with you. Then he got to like kick her down.
Get off me,
yo. But okay, listen. Every place can't get quarantined. No. So you just got to do like it's like backpacking.
Right.
You know, you just, instead of hostel to hostel, you know, non-quarantine place to non-quarantine place, you just got to get in and get out. Yep. Go see Amsterdam, go see all these places, and you can do it super cheap.
Yeah,
and on a cruise.
I was going to say in Europe, it's only affecting Italy right now, right?
There it is.
Yeah, you got your map.
Fuck Rome.
God dang. God dang. I feel you playing.
There's a lot of other places you can go.
You are correct.
There's a lot of other places in Europe. You are correct. A lot of other places in Europe. There's a lot of other places.
So obviously the hysteria is at an astronomical high right now.
Crazy.
People are losing their minds. But I mean, for anyone who's been doing research, doing studies, the mortality rate is ridiculously low, which is for this type of scenario to happen, the mortality rate has to be low.
Yes, it's low and high at the same time.
Right.
Well, it could be high depending on how many people infect.
The whole thing is the infection rate is high.
That's the key.
The mortality rate is low. And the whole thing is the higher the mortality rate, the quicker it dies off. So this is the reason why low mortality rate of infections, usually people survive. So that means that it spreads faster and it spreads more. So the more people who can get it, the more people have a chance of dying.
Yeah.
So,
because I think it was like 3.5%.
Yeah, 3.5, 3. Yeah, it's around there.
So let's say like every 100 people,
every 100 people,
it's 3 people that die.
Right.
But when you extrapolate out that to
It's
100 million
right, exactly.
in one country, then that's millions of people dead.
And this is the reason why they're saying that a large portion of the population will die is because they believe that somewhere between 30 and 60% of the entire world will get
It's
it.
going to get it.
And the whole thing is,
That's a lot of people.
yeah, but the whole thing is that, I mean, not saying that people should not worry or not do this or not do that. It affects people who have low immune systems.
Yeah.
Low immunity. So that means babies, elderly, and people with certain
I've been
types
drinking
of
orange juice all week.
I bet your vitamin C is
The
up.
main line. The main line.
So the whole thing is that we worry like, oh, it's going to affect us. I mean, honestly, it's going to hurt the impoverished nations most.
Yep.
You know, and not saying that like, oh, like we shouldn't worry, we shouldn't do that, but when we say that like, oh, a third of the population could die in a country like ours, it'll be less than 10%, less than 5%. But for the fact that we have to try and do what we can, people with healthy immune systems, people who have the resources.
Yes.
This is what you have to worry about is not having the resources.
But you know, one of the things that I think is going to be dangerous for us here is that we have a culture of people not going to the doctor very quickly.
Right.
And we also don't have a culture of our workforce supporting people going to take care of their health. What is the workforce going to do when people start saying, I need to go to the doctor and check this out?
Right.
You know, what are we going to do as a whole as the United States of America? Because we have the money.
Right.
You know, we have the infrastructure. You know, we can buy a whole bunch of test kits and just start, but we're moving slow.
Right.
We're moving slow right now because it's like, oh, might not be that bad. But if it hits, it hits. And so you have to prepare for that. You know, and I don't think that that's the direction that we're moving now. I think people are looking at the numbers and like, you know.
Yeah.
The worst thing about like conspiracy theories and like we're so desensitized and we're like everything seems like, you know, a government plan.
Right.
That when something really happens that's serious, nobody's going to take it serious. And this could be the thing that no one takes serious.
Right. My biggest worry about this is, as much as like we've been talking about the numbers, the one thing that we won't have for some time is a possible reinfection rate. So who gets it after they've already
got it. That's
right?
it.
Because that'll be the biggest worry. Because after your immune system has done so much, if you get it again because you've already passed it to someone in the house and they've passed it back, you know, that's going to be what takes most healthy people out. You know, so I don't know. We're in a real place, weird spot. But I mean, we already spoke about this last week. We're both antisocial.
Can I make one statement though? For the assholes out there who are just wearing masks,
Yeah.
This is not an airborne virus or disease. So somebody blowing at you is not going to give it to you.
I'm gonna get this. Yeah.
You know what really gets me? You know, and I hope kids don't listen to this podcast, but what really gets me is like people who will wear a mask outside but go home and eat booty. Like,
God,
like
you got the coronavirus all on your lips right
you
now.
been had the coronavirus, dog.
Dang.
You live with the coronavirus.
Oh my goodness.
Like, we're gonna have to change some habits.
You're right.
I blame Janae Ayeko.
Oh my God.
I do. She made it cool.
Eat it like groceries.
She made it cool. It is not
right.
groceries. It's not.
It's not.
It's not. They don't have that at Whole Foods.
No, they do not.
I looked up all the plaques. I said spices, meats. It doesn't say ass.
No.
No.
You right though.
Where would it has to be? Where would it has to be?
I mean, I didn't check Amazon, but I'm almost certain they
Amazon selling that. They sell everything.
You right.
They sell
Amazon
everything.
killing the game right now.
You know what's
They're
crazy?
gonna be like, you want that 2-day delivery though?
You can get it on Prime. You got that Prime?
You got that Prime?
You get Prime.
Yo, it's right around the corner. We can get it to you in a couple hours.
It's Prime man. Right there.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, okay. So it's funny and it's also serious. We just got to keep an eye on it. But what are you gonna do?
Right.
Like, what are you gonna do? Just wash your hands.
I rather make light of this, and I mean, like, it's not. I hate when people are just like, "Oh, but it's serious," and it's just like, nah, it's life, and
Yeah,
you need
it's
to
true.
laugh at life in order to get through it. Sometimes,
I can't live worrying about Corona
Right.
being around the corner.
look, believe me, and I mean, whether you believe in God, you don't believe in God, or you have a higher figure, you don't have a higher figure, that coronavirus will get here when it get here.
He'll get here, and I believe
My jokes or not, it'll get
when it's your
here. You know?
time,
Yeah.
it's your time.
And believe me, I'm gonna fight it like I fight everything else.
That is it.
On my back in bed watching TV.
Netflix got me through the
Yes,
coronavirus.
I'm gonna be over there like, I've been waiting to stay at home, having some tea, some soup.
All I know is that I need to start getting some canned goods because these stores are gonna start closing down. If it you
Yeah,
got
I'm
canned
stocked
goods,
up.
you stocked up.
I'm stocked up.
I'm going this weekend to get some more water because we got water. My wife,
Water. Look, you from New York.
Right?
I heard that
my
water.
wife is a crazy. She's always talking about canned. You know who got the canned goods? My mother-in-law. She got it. She got her pantry is stacked.
She's a prepper.
She just
Might as well
naturally does it. She
Okay,
might as
cool.
well be a prepper. No guns, but she got the food.
All right,
You
cool,
know what I
cool.
mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
Man, but I mean,
It is what it is.
cheers to the
You
corona.
gotta.
You got to.
I mean, I don't know what we're gonna do, but it's I look. This
We'll
is,
bounce back.
This is the one thing I always
Corona,
say.
the beer won't.
It's Corona is in the dumps right
It's
now.
in the dumps.
They should have. The moment it came out, they was like, "Oh, this is the thing. We should change our name today."
We got to change it. It's too late.
It is too late.
It's too late.
Oh man.
All right. So besides Corona being in the news,
What was it big this week?
Super Tuesday, dog.
Super duper Tuesday.
If you don't know what Super Tuesday is, then you're an asshole American because that means you didn't go out and do what you were supposed to do.
do your due diligence.
Do your due diligence. Super Tuesday is when I forgot the number of states. What is it, like 15 states?
Yeah, it's a high number.
It's a high number of states, and they all have voting at the same time, primary voting. So when we're primary voting, the main objective, which people talk about, is we're voting for the presidential nominee for your particular party.
Right.
Now, a lot of states, you have to be registered in that party to vote
Right.
under that party.
Did you
No, because some states they don't have that. Like you can still if you
you can vote, it doesn't matter.
You can
Right,
still
right,
vote.
right.
But
Hence the reason why Sanders is running on the Democrat.
exactly. So boom, people went out and voted.
Yes, they did.
I did my thing. I was at home. I was doing some type of work. I was cleaning up, doing some type of work. I went to pick up my daughter from school, and then I went out, took her with me, and I voted, came back, and then late in the night I started watching CNN. The numbers start coming in.
Oh my God.
Numbers start coming in, and then so my projection, I was like, ooh, I know Bernie's gonna be doing it.
Yeah.
And I think Warren is gonna be up there. Some people gonna do a little Bloomy. Some people gonna do a little Biden.
Yeah.
And at that point, I believe Pete had already dropped out.
Yeah.
Yang had been dropped out. Tom Steyer had already dropped out, I believe.
Everybody and their mama dropped out.
Everybody and their mama was dropping out. So I was like, ooh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Numbers started coming in,
Yo.
and Joseph was up there. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Look, what you just said, I was just like, I could have been washing dishes like, wait, what?
Fumbling Joe.
Fumbling Joe.
He is not the best person on stage.
No.
I hope for our sake, as progressives, that's just him on stage. It's like it could just be, he could just not be a good orator.
Right.
Obama was an impressive orator. You know what I mean? Joe Biden may just not be as an impressive orator, but
He's got to be better than.
he's got to be better than Trump if we're going to move in that direction. And right now, it seems like the Democratic establishment
Right.
is behind Joe.
All right, so we gonna get into this conspiracy theory.
Listen,
You want to start first?
it's not even conspiracy because Hillary was out there on The View talking against Bernie from the beginning.
You know it.
From
You
the
know
beginning.
it.
We should have known the writings on the wall.
Right.
It was Crazy Joe's turn.
Crazy Joe with it.
It was Joe's turn.
We need another cowboy.
He was out there telling stories about him being with Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
He was a African soldier, a beast of no nation. He was he fought alongside he was on the same people with Saving Private Ryan.
Oh my God.
He knew Ryan. What else?
In the same platoon.
He was in the same platoon as Ryan.
He was like, it was Saving Ryan and Joe.
It was Saving Ryan and Joe.
Yeah.
Like he's told every story out there right now of him being involved in.
All right, so
he was there. He was like, the word was with God. He was like, I agree.
Yeah.
Joe was there. He seen Jesus walk on water. Joe's been there.
While Sanders was in the back, like,
right?
It was me.
It's
all right. So we feel, because this is what we spoke about earlier,
yes,
off camera. But the Democratic Party is like, all right, Pete, you're dropping out.
Yes,
you need to support Joe. You want us to consider you in 4 more years, or you want this other spot, or because he's coming straight from being a mayor, right?
I think that was Pete's position from the beginning.
Right. So the whole thing is, all right,
divide the field.
He's coming from being a mayor.
Yes.
If you want to go to DC, and you want to be a senator, right? Exactly. And you want to be a senator,
we got you.
Back Joe. He comes out, endorses Joe.
That's right.
You said Klobuchar did the same thing. I mean, we knew she wasn't going to get him.
None of them have the coalition of people who were going to support them with small donors.
Right.
So they need the big money.
Right.
And the big money's with the establishment.
Exactly.
And Pete is young. If you want to continue, bro.
Yep. You want to be this progressive, and you got the next. Maybe we don't do it in 4 years. Maybe we do it in 8. Maybe we do it in 16. But we'll get behind you.
You're a mayor, then you become a governor, and then a senator. You're all good, Pete.
Right.
We may even give you a position in the cabinet, Pete.
Right.
This will be good for you.
So almost every person has endorsed Joe who has dropped out.
Klobuchar endorsed Joe.
Right.
Pete endorsed Joe.
Because obviously the Democratic Party does not want Sanders to get it.
Absolutely not.
So
this is what people got to understand about the Democratic Party. Liberal does not mean broke.
Right.
Okay. So when a lot of people are brought to the Democratic Party, they're progressive in their social ideas.
Right.
But don't touch their coins.
Right.
That's where they draw the line. And when Sanders started talking about touching that coin, and Elizabeth Warren said, we coming for the coin.
Breaking the model. Yeah.
That's it.
So this is exactly why I feel like you said that Warren dropped out, right?
Warren was out after that.
So she's out after that.
Because
she hasn't endorsed anyone.
She hasn't endorsed anyone.
So the point being is that I would endorse Sanders, but if I want another chance at this in the future,
she wants that money.
Right.
But I think if she were to endorse Joe Biden this early, I think she would lose her base.
Right.
Because her base will be like,
Joe and not Bernie? Right.
Come on.
Right.
Because her base literally will slide over to Bernie.
Right.
It made sense. Pete Buttigieg, because he was always trying to be, well, we got to talk to each other. And another person brought up, I was listening to the Torrey podcast. He's like, do y'all really think that the speaking across the aisle thing, like, that doesn't work?
Right.
You got to pack in the Senate and you've got to pack in the House. After we get the presidency, we got to vote. Everybody got to be Democrat. Right. That's the only way you're going to get things pushed through. If the Republicans have the Senate and or the House, it's going to be super difficult.
We need people who are going to break the system. That's it.
You have to.
So I'm all for Bernie going in there, like tearing up shop and America crumbling for a little bit and then being phenomenal in 10 years.
People are scared of... They're telling. I seen somebody. They posted this and they were like, Bernie wants a top tax bracket of 52%. Most people don't do their own taxes or have ever read anything about tax. We have a progressive tax system. It's not 52% flat on anybody's money. On your first $25,000, and if I only make $25,000. We both are supposed to pay the same amount of taxes on that money. You pay the taxes from this money to that money.
Right.
And so 52%, I'm pretty sure, is for the money that you make over probably $5-10 million. Right. So your first $5 million are not in that tax rate. Right. It's what you make in between this and that. So this whole half of your money gone, like, that stuff is crazy. And people think it's like that. Like, no, we don't have a flat tax system.
Right.
We have a progressive tax system, and that's why you have all those brackets, and that's why it's actually a difficult tax system to look at and understand. But it also works pretty well if the loopholes are removed.
Right. And I think that people they kind of miss out on it because they're just like, oh, well, he's just going to take half of our money. You don't even make $1 million.
You don't even make it.
You're not even what are you worried about?
You don't even know what you spent in taxes last year. Half of these people who are complaining got almost all their money back.
Right. I can't. It's tough because we live in a society where they don't want to explain it. They don't want to teach it because if we knew, then we'd understand better.
I think that's one of the problems with the Bernie Sanders campaign is that he needs more information out there that is teaching, that people can point to. Like, no, this is what the campaign is saying. Break it down. Have somebody attempt to break it down. Mm-hmm. Like, even in the smallest, it doesn't have to be the full nuance, but have somebody break it down. Like, with healthcare, even if everybody went and just went private insurance, you're paying for your insurance.
Right.
So if you shift that to the owner of your policy being the government, there is no difference.
Right. You're still going to be
there's no difference. Whether you call it tax or it comes out your check.
Right.
No matter what, they take it.
And they don't see it.
You don't have the option. You don't go and pay.
I mean, I love this idea of people who want to fight. I mean, the socialist aspect. Like, he's a socialist, and this is what socialists do, and they don't realize that it doesn't work. I mean,
Venezuela.
Right. So, all right. So the socialist model doesn't work. You're right. Well, let's make all fire departments private. Let's make all police departments private.
That's it.
Because I mean, if you don't like socialist ideas, that's a socialist idea.
That's it.
The government shouldn't provide anything for you.
That's it.
Because this is what happens across the world, you know? And it's just like, oh, well, not the medical system. You're right. The medical system here.
Half of the people that told this survival of the fittest are not the fittest. They're not the ones who are going to survive.
You're right.
You will be dead, sir. Coronavirus is getting you first. It's getting you first.
Yeah. I don't think that people see it. But I mean, hey, I'm just saying, you may want that free medical.
You might want it. You might want that medical.
Because people are going to start showing up. They're going to be like, what insurance you got? I lost my job because of the corona, but now I got the corona. So what happens in this private hospital?
He goes on that waiting list.
Is you get nothing.
Yes, that's it.
Let's take you out.
Peace out, B.
Where's your car? Just make sure
this vaccine is expensive. Oh, man. Listen. Another great episode.
Yes.
Episode 46. Okay. I'm No Justin No Peace.
And I'm Lou Rivers.
And we are the Loose Cannons Podcast because we sit down and we fire off our opinions on today's pop culture.
What else?
Politics.
What else?
Movies and TV and how they all intersect. Yes. Wait, this week, ladies and gentlemen, we are dropping.
What are we dropping?
Our movie review episode.
Yes.
The Way Back.
The Way Back. Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
And no one else I know. Sorry.
Yeah. It don't matter. But cool. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you listen to the movie review.
Please do.
Plus, visit our Patreon.
Oh, yes.
We're new to Patreon, guys.
Yes, we are.
Listen, if you want to support the Loose Cannons, if
That'd
you like
great.
what we do, if you like the new improvements and all the equipment that we're using, we will really appreciate your support and you showing love. As little as $5 a month.
That could work.
$1.99 a month.
You right.
You just say, we appreciate you. Here, hold this, Loose Cannons. Hold this down. And for that, we're going to give you guys exclusive content.
Yes.
We're starting a new show.
Okay.
Well, a new segment in which we go over the Oscar nominees.
Yes.
And the Oscar winners from every year.
I like it.
Starting with the one that just passed.
We can do it.
We'll go through who won the Best Picture.
Yes.
Who was nominated for the Best Picture.
Yes.
And did the Oscars get it right?
Did they get it right?
Did they get it right?
I like that.
Plus, we'll be doing additional movie reviews.
Yes.
Whether it be from Netflix movies.
Yes.
Only
because we watch so many movies and y'all be surprised.
That's right. Plus, if you are on Patreon and you support us on Patreon, we're going to start hitting y'all up.
Yes.
We're going to start doing some phone call-ins with our Patreons so they can be a part of the Loose Cannons experience.
That'd be great.
And talk movies with us.
Because I'm ready for someone to challenge me.
That's right. And shoot the shit.
Yeah.
Y'all down?
All right.
All right. We out.
Peace.
Check y'all later. Peace.